So last time we left, we were about to reflect, and then now we reflect, and then we reflect on our past, on the things that we've done. It's the New Year's coming up, so it's a good time to reflect and ponder on the pain that we've created for others and the pain that we created for ourselves through a chaos we may have created. So now this is going to go, it's Rosh Hashanah, you know what I mean, it's the Jewish holiday of the New Year, so it's a great time. It happens in September to reflect on who you are as an individual. And you know, I could go on forever with that one. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to group that. So I'm going to group this right here, and then oh, see, it did not group it together. So you got to make sure that you group everything, and then so there we go. We got that, and then we've got that's going to go on there. So now the way this is going to go on there is we're going to flip it. Is this is going to be basically taped on the side. This is going to tape on the other side. This little thing is going to tape on the other side, and then this is going to flip up, and then you're going to have your little G. So there we go. Now I guess what we could do is we could add a little something right in there. Let's see what's going on in here. He's got this little. You got really not much going on in there. Maybe some backdraft thing. So we're gonna zoom out. We're gonna make the polygon tool. We're gonna use a double click 3 times to see what the last polygon tool is. A 6-sided, so we're gonna go with a 6-sided polygon. So you got that. As long as you got that flat side, it's okay. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a rectangle around it, and we're gonna pull that down. And then we're gonna pull that down. Then we're gonna cut it. We're going to first center it just to make sure that, and then we're going to use the shape builder tool, and then we're going to cut by clicking. So what we have is we have individual shapes. Now I recommend cutting it that way because, and now you say why? Because, well, these shapes could be used in any other means, in any other ways, much later at a specific time. So we're gonna shrink this one. We're gonna zoom in a little bit. We're gonna copy it, and then we're gonna use the scale tool. So we're gonna do, let's see, 90%. 90%. So then that short 90%. So I'm gonna go Alt, select it again, the scale tool, 90% again. So that progressively it's getting smaller. So Alt again. Now what's the key is S. So you click S. Can you double click S? No, you can't double click S. You gotta double click it like that. So 90% again. So then let's see. And then S, double click, 90%. So then you get what I'm doing is I'm shrinking this object by 90%. So there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this one down a little bit. I'm going to bring this one down 2 clicks just to align them somewhat aligned, not perfectly. There we go. There we go. This is fun, ain't it? This is fun all around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to give it a different color, like maybe a little bit darker, that darker yellow color. And there we go. We got that going on right there. And then I'm going to bring that up. And then I'm going to zoom out. And I'm going to squeeze that in there right there. And then voila. And maybe we can bring it down a little bit. There we go. And then voila. But it's still not centered. So what do we do in that situation? What do we do in that situation? So first we got to move this guy out of the way. Then what we're going to do is we're going to object group everything. Because we want this shape, and then we're going to object group this shape. Why do we do that? Because now it is one shape in the computer. So when you move it down, you can just say, listen, this shape and this shape, I want them to be centered. So there we go. That's how you center it. So it's got something's going on right there. So there we are done with a swindle. Yay, hooray, swindle. So we moved on from a swindle, and then we're going to start building. Now we can add some little more doohickeys. See these little shapes right here? We can add them. Now, do you notice how the fingers did no? Now, in order to edit it again, you have to object on group, and then what you do is you delete this arm. Now, what you can do is you can add some funky little stuff right there. See, look at that. Ain't that fun? Ain't that fun? See, that's why I said to you, I go keep the shape, because you never know when you're going to use it. Don't waste your shapes, you know. There we go. And then, there we go. It goes nicely. It goes perfectly. It just gives a little extra touch. So then what we're going to do, object, group, drag it with the alt, make another shape, object, arrange, transform, reflect, and then there we go. We got our little swindle. So there we go. Look at that. It's on. Is it perfect? I don't know. Let's see. Let's check it out. Let's zoom in a little bit. It's kind of the same as this one. Now this one we could pull out a little bit, and then this one we can maybe pull out one, and maybe we can pull out one more. Let's see what it look like. See, it don't look like how I want it. So what you do is shift select, and shift select because it's one shape. You go to the top so that way it makes it. But it's still, there's something going on in here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to make it so that it butts up again. Then I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to make it so that it butts up again. So there we go. And then now we got our swindle shape. We're going to move that out of the way. We're going to object, group, and we're going to make the foot appendage later. For now, we're just going to work with that. Now, what we're going to do is, I forget the other guy's name. What's his name? So let's find out Combaticons. Let's see, what's the other guy's name? Web. Let's go to the web. And let's go Combaticons Transformers Wiki, which is a great webstfwiki.net. We got Vortex, Swindle, Blast Off, Brawl. So now we're gonna work on Brawl. So let's type in Brawl and see what comes up. And then let's go to Images. And then let's go to Generation. Now this is a pretty nice picture of Brawl. Oh, this is also a nice picture of Brawl. You know. So let's see. Let's make it maybe a little bit. If you want to make your search tools, like when you do any size, no, you want medium, at least a medium, so you can see what you're working with. Now this is a nice little rendition. Let's see what else. We're doing generation 1. So what you can actually do is you can do generation 1, and you can type that in, and then you got this guy right here. So then he's like a greenish color, like an army green color. So there we go. So and then we want to see his face. Let's see, Brawl's face. I don't see his face anywhere. Let's see. There we go. Look at that face. That's a face a mother could love. So he's got this face right here. So he's got yellow, red, and gray. So we're going to start off working on the face. So we're going to make a square that is those dimensions. Now, another way that you can do, you see the dimensions and you can go to transform and you can find out the dimensions. It is 0.5664 by 7372. 0.7372. So what you do is, I'm going to try to remember it, and I'm going to see if I'm going to go 0.5332, 0.5332, and 0.7252 to 5, 2. I don't know. I'm gonna go with that.